It's your cousin Q here to talk about the Matador Arms roller delayed upper chamber in 9mm. I am doing this audio entirely from my iPhone. I do not have my normal equipment with me. If you've worked with me before, you will notice that this is the worst audio I have ever produced. This video is going to be front-loaded with what I consider the most important information. After that, there will just be footage of shooting for your own evaluation. To start off, there are a few issues with the current production run of Matador Arms receivers. Thanks to early warning from other Reddit users in the Matador Arms subreddit, I had a chance to catch these issues before they became a problem for me. First thing you need to know is that there is a buffer system that is retained by a bolt, and that bolt should be thread locked to the entire buffer retaining assembly. There appears to be a case where they were not thread locked for one of the users. The next thing you need to know is that there is a small flaw with the quick takedown system. The way this is supposed to work is that you press in on the assembly, a locking plate will slide down, and then that will allow you to pull the whole assembly from the upper receiver. The problem with this is that either by physical press or sometimes by recoil, the sliding plate will come down while the upper is still attached to the lower. It is still contained at this point and will fire without problems, but if you go to separate the receivers, this will result in the buffer retaining assembly explosively ejecting from the upper without your say-so. The way that you can detect that this is going to happen is by paying attention to the portion of the buffer takedown assembly that you are supposed to press in. If the weapon is assembled and that portion is flush with the receiver, you're good to go. If it is slightly pressed into the receiver and not flush, it is waiting to explode on you as soon as you separate the upper from the lower. I found that the remedy for this is to flip the entire weapon upside down so that the plate is influenced by gravity and press in on the assembly as if you were going to take it down until you hear/feel the locking plate slide into place. At that point, you will notice that the housing is now flush again and you're good to go. If you don't want to do that, just make sure you're ready to catch this thing as it's about to fly out. As a date and time reference, I placed my order for my Matador 9K on 9th July 2025. It was shipped 27th August 2025, and I received it on the 3rd of September 2025. It arrived in a package that was definitely not appropriate for its size and weight and had incurred some damage, but the damage was mostly superficial and did not affect the function. I just think that's something that Matador Arms should do better though. If you have purchased one of these uppers or are considering purchasing one of these uppers, and hopefully that date time group gives you an idea of when these issues were occurring. In the past, Matador Arms has produced a blowback version of this same upper. I don't know anything about that. To quote Robert De Niro in The Deer Hunter,
"This is this. This ain't something else. This is this."
Alright, now that those hopefully helpful warnings are out of the way, I will tell you what I intended to do. I have an AR-9 upper which shares the same charging handle control as any of my other ARs, and this is of great familiarity and consistency with platforms that I already run. So I set out to test both the AR-9 upper and the MAT-9K upper on the same lower receiver, and the things I wanted to test were the ability to feed ammunition, which magazines worked with which upper the best, and to compare the recoil of both systems. The MAT-9K uses an enclosed recoil spring assembly and has a roller that should delay the action and contribute to more controllable firing. My AR-9 is just using a standard AR receiver extension with a carbine link spring, a 9mm buffer spacer, and a normal H1 buffer weight. And if you are Blowback 9 and you're watching this for some reason, yes, I know this is not the buffer weight that I'm supposed to use with any AR-9s. I didn't know that at the time. This is all I had. Please don't come after me. I respect your work immensely. The stock that I used for this test is the old GWAT era Duo stock, which was intended to be used with heavy body armor so that shooters could still get a good purchase and sight picture on rifles while they were encumbered by really uncomfortable equipment and firing in awkward positions. Surprisingly, it works well for this application because of the raised sight plane of the MAT-9K. and the small size of this overall package. Before I set out to do any live fire testing, I tested both assemblies with snap caps and their ability to feed them from different magazines while the weapon was oriented straight up and down, rolled to either side, and then completely upside down. I had no problems with either one. The magazines that I used were a mix of Glock 17 round OEM magazines and Magpul 17 round Glock magazine. I also used a Glock OEM 24 round magazine and a Magpul D50 9mm drum. Each type of magazine was given a chance to feed 5 rounds of FNJ, 115 grain standard, and 5 rounds of 124 grain Hornady XTP. The rounds fed from both the 24 round Glock mag as well as the Magpul 50 round drum were 5 rounds each of both ammunition. Before I even started testing, I had to do modifications on my quarter circle 10 lower in order to achieve last round bolt hold open with empty magazines. This required using the small spring that quarter circle 10 provided for the bolt catch, and I even had to clip a few coils off of that in order to allow an empty Glock magazine and PMag to lock the bolt back under manual manipulation. During live fire, I found that my quarter circle 10 AR-9 upper would not lock back on its own using the Magpul 17 round PMags, and that's fine because I kind of hate those things anyways and I need to sell them. Glock OEM mags, the 24 round mag, and the Magpul D50 drum all successfully locked back on my AR-9 upper. From what I recall, and as will be revealed in the video, I believe that the MAT-9K upper did not lock back with any of the PMags, most of the Glock OEM mags, but had some success with the 24 round mag and the Magpul D50 drum, possibly because these larger magazines have stiffer springs, and again, they are up against a very, very light bolt catch spring. I imagine that this is a matter of the recoil of the weapon itself dislodging the bolt catch's ability to work, or the varying bolt mass being too fast for the bolt catch spring to catch up with, even with pressure from an empty magazine follower. The Matador 9K was wearing irons that I threw on top of the receiver and did not zero, while the AR-9 upper from quarter circle 10 was wearing a red dot borrowed from a different rifle. I also did not zero this, I just wanted it as an aiming reference so that I wasn't just slinging rounds down range. Surprisingly, the irons on the MAT-9K upper were pretty much dead on with slight offset to the right for the point of impact, and the red dot for the AR-9 was actually working pretty well, with the only deviation being a vertical one, which can be attributed to a height over bore issue. In my quest to decide which upper I was going to keep, I did not consider last round bolt hold open as a deal breaker. What was more important to me was proper reliable function and firing, as well as evaluating whether the roller delayed system gave me a noticeable decrease in felt recoil. Both uppers fed and fired FMJs and XTPs pretty much flawlessly. I had one failure to fire with the MAT-9K upper. I never really determined what the problem with that was, but the 2 times that it failed to fire, there was no impingement on the primer, so I don't think it was a matter of dud ammo. Just for whatever reason, the hammer was not hitting the firing pin spring home, or the firing pin itself was just not traveling. The problem I ran into while testing ammunition is that because I was firing single slow shots, I could not really tell a difference in felt recoil between both assemblies. Mind you, both assemblies are still being fired from the same lower, the same amount of weight, and the same stock. And I tried to hold them in a loose, sorta not really aggressive position so I could see which one was going to throw me back more. I decided that the only way to really test the felt recoil was to run a build drill with both uppers. I did so by giving them both a chance with 6 rounds of the 115 grain FMJ ammo, holding a decent grip but a less aggressive stance so I could let both guns kind of kick me around and see what happened. Now the test is not entirely equal because the quarter circle 10 upper does not have any vertical grip when I test it, so maybe I wasn't able to control it as much. The MAT-9K build drill at about 7 yards went well. I threw some rounds out of the A zone, but otherwise it was controllable. The quarter circle 10 upper, however, kind of threw me off for the first 3 rounds. There's a pause between my first 3 rounds and my second 3 rounds trying to finish that build drill because it pushed me completely off target and I had to recover before I could finish the stream. But again, I didn't know if that was because the quarter circle 10 was giving me more recoil impulse or if it was because I just had no vertical grip to keep both platforms equal with one another. But all that said, the proof is in the pudding. I was getting kicked back by the AR9 upper just a little bit more than the Matador 9K. But just to be sure, I brought in my friend who works at the range, and she fired about 10 shots from each upper. I did not tell her the action type of which upper. I just asked her to give me feedback on which one feels better for her. She gave the assessment that if the quarter circle 10 upper was 100% recoil, the MAT-9K was like 90% recoil. She is a former Marine and has a lot of experience firing weapons, so I trusted her opinion. This still didn't tell me what I needed to know, so my conundrum is that the AR9 upper was giving me nearly equal performance as the MAT-9K, and I haven't even upgraded it yet to see if I could reduce the recoil on it. It's using a standard carbon link spring, an H1 buffer, and none of the special stuff, so no JP silent capture system with a hydraulic buffer. So I was really hesitant about which upper I would keep, until I found an older gentleman at the range who was willing to test both uppers for me. Now, to give you a little background, this older gentleman was firing a single action revolver, told me that's all he shoots. He had a severe case of arthritis, he stands about 4'0", and he's very elderly, such that he has nail polish on the front sights of all of his revolvers because that's the only way he can see them. He had never fired an AR platform in his life, and I had to instruct him on what to do as I helped him fire. I held his shoulders in order to stabilize him, and I didn't want it to be an unpleasant experience. I just wanted to get an outside opinion. He fired all 10 rounds from the MAT-9K that I gave him to shoot, and he found it to be pleasant, but again, it wasn't his style of weapon. I then gave him another 10 rounds with the AR9 to shoot, and he only got 3 of those out. He said it was far more uncomfortable, that he didn't like it at all, and that he'd rather not use up my ammo while hurting his arthritic hands and shoulders. So again, the proof is in the pudding. When I look at myself firing, I'm getting a more pleasant experience at the shoulder with the MAT-9K. When I had a friend fire, she experienced a small but noticeable decrease and felt recoil with the MAT-9K, and again, this was a blind test for her. She did not know anything about the MAT-9K having a contained spring or a roller delayed system. And again, the older gentleman finding one system to be painful to shoot while the other one is pleasant told me a bit of what I needed to know. My personal experience would tell me to stick with the AR9 upper for consistency between all of my AR platforms, and the only thing I'd be losing with the AR9 upper would be the ability to fire with a folding stock, which I did intend to install. I'd have to go with something like a LOL folder for the AR9 assembly, but that wouldn't be that big of a deal. I still have not decided which upper I'm going to keep, but if anyone has any... Alright, that's it for all the information. That's all from me for now. Goodbye forever.
This one feels just the slightest bit less. I don't know how to explain that. It doesn't...
If you had to put in percentage, is it like numbers or fractions of percentages?
That's like 100%. This is like 90% of that. Or what, I don't know.
So if this is 100% recoil, this is 90% of the impulse?
It's like it's just the slightest bit different. Okay. And I don't know if that's because of the way that I don't know. Okay, so... Are you just trying to figure out which one's better?
Yeah, because this cost a little bit of money. And the whole thing is it's supposed to be a roller delayed upper. There is a roller in there. It's not quite MP5, but it's supposed to be softer, whereas AR9s are known to be, they're just blowback. So they're known to be a little rough.
This one maybe has just a little bit crisper of a feel, but by
this upper?
Yes. Yeah. But just by the littlest percentage.
So, you had a little trouble finding this.
Yeah.
Because you have so much knowledge about this. This is the same. This is different. I don't know which one. The only thing now, because they're so similar, the only thing now for me to really consider is that if I keep using this, I don't get a folding stock. If I use this, I can do the folder.
That's true.
Yeah.
For a carbine, at least, having a little charging handle. So. Yeah.
And there's so many people waiting to get this that I can easily be like, I had my fun. Sell it.
Right.
I have to go home, check video, and figure out which one I'm keeping. To be honest, I have no idea.
No, I like both of them. Yeah. I think they're awesome. It's a nice little setup you got.
Yeah. Thank you, though. I'll see you on the way up.